Now, Mr. President, on another subject. This weekend marked 2 years, the second anniversary, since the Food and Drug Administration missed a federal court-ordered date to finish its review of vaping applications, e-cigarette applications, that have illegally flooded the market in the United States. We estimate that during that 2-year period of time when the FDA refused to respond to the federal court order, approximately 2 million American children may have started vaping. And despite missing this deadline by 2 years, the Food and Drug Administration remains nowhere close to meeting the legal mandate to regulate these addictive e-cigarettes. You see, under the law, a vaping product is required to apply first to the FDA before entering the market and prove to the Food and Drug Administration that the e-cigarette is, quote, in the law, this is from the law, appropriate for the protection of public health. They can't prove that. This has not happened. Instead, tens of thousands of dangerous, highly addictive e-cigarettes have legally shown up on store shelves without FDA review or approval, and they've hooked a generation of kids. In fact, studies have shown that there are more vaping devices on the market today than 2 years ago when the FDA was ordered by a federal court to do something. That's unacceptable. My office recently investigated the FDA's effectiveness in following through, even after it issues a denial for a vaping application. So a company comes to the FDA, submits their product, is supposed to show how it's consistent with public health, fails to do so, they're told not to sell the product in America, and what do? We found that many FDA-denied e-cigarettes, which subsequently received warning letters for continuing to sell in violation of the law, still remain available. I just don't understand it. The Food and Drug Administration is cowardly, refusing to use its full arsenal of enforcement tools, fines, injunctions, for even the most flagrant cases. We also found the FDA has only issued closeout letters to 10% of the tobacco products that it had warned were violating the law. The administration, through the Food and Drug Administration, has the authority to decide whether a vaping device or cigarette can be sold. They decide it cannot be. They tell them, you've got to stop at this point. How many actually followed the warning and refused to violate the law? 1 out of 10. Meaning the agency has one of the worst records in history of following through and ensuring compliance with enforcement. I've referred all this information to the Department of Justice. Maybe they'll take action. Let me be clear, none of the most popular e-cigarettes used by kids have been granted the authority to be sold in the United States by the Food and Drug Administration. Yet they remain on the market in violation of the law, putting our children and teenagers in harm's way. This isn't the only instance where FDA's delays are dangerous. Last month, the FDA blew through a deadline to finalize rules to prohibit menthol-flavored cigarettes and flavored cigars. This regulation is also long overdue and has the potential to save thousands of lives. The FDA must end its delays.